TV with me, Isma. On Monday, the Congress party sharply criticized the government's decision to hike excise duties on petrol and diesel by rupees 2 per litre. This move coming amid falling global oil prices and growing public dissatisfaction with inflation has been labelled as government loot by Congress leaders including Mallikarjun Kharge and Rahul Gandhi. They accused Prime Minister Narendra Modi's administration of further burdening the public despite global oil price reductions. This report explores the context of the excise hike, the political backlash and its potential impact on India's consumers and economy. Here's a special story from 4sides TV. On Monday, the Indian government announced a rupees 2 per litre increase in excise duty on both petrol and diesel. This hike took the excise duty on petrol to rupees 13 per litre and diesel to rupees 10 per litre. While such adjustments in excise duty are common, the timing of this increase has raised questions, particularly given the current drop in international crude oil prices. In a sharp review, Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge took to the social media platform X, formerly Twitter, to criticize the government for its decision. He pointed out that international crude oil prices has fallen by 41% since May 2014, yet the government chose to increase taxes rather than reducing the prices of petrol and diesel for consumers. Kharge expressed frustration with the Modi government's economic policy, stating that instead of offering relief to the people, the government had increased excise duties, which would only add to the burden of inflation. Kharge also made a comparison to the heavy losses in the stock market, where small and big investors together lost rupees 19 lakh crore due to poor government policies, especially around tariffs. He accused the government of plundering the public while focusing on hikes in essential commodities like fuel and LPG gas cylinders. The rhetoric from Kharge was aimed at highlighting the disconnect between falling global oil prices and the rising cost of living in India. Rahul Gandhi, the former Congress president, also weighed in on the issue, mocking the government for its tax policies. He sarcastically remarked that Prime Minister Narendra Modi had finally given a befitting reply to tariffs, referring to the rise in excise duties. Gandhi described the decision as a gift of government loot to the suffering public, which is already grappling with high inflation and rising prices of goods. Despite the excise duty hike, the government clarified that there would be no increase in the retail prices of petrol and diesel, according to the Oil Ministry. The excise duty increase would be offset by the reduction in retail prices that had resulted from falling international oil prices. The government reassured consumers that there would be no immediate impact on their daily fuel cost. The excise duty hike on petrol and diesel was not the only price increase that generated backlash from the opposition. Congress leaders also took aim to the government's decision to hike the prices of LPG gas cylinders. This price hike, particularly the increase in LPG prices, has been a matter of significant concern for households, especially for women in low-income groups. The Ujjwala Yojana, which aims to provide free LPG connections to poor households, was cited as an example of the government's failure to protect the very people it claims to help. Congress leaders accused the government of increasing the financial burden on these women by raising LPG prices, thus further deepening their struggles with inflation. In a post on X, Kharge described the hike in LPG prices as part of the whip of inflation, claiming that it has severely impacted the savings of poor women using the Ujjwala scheme. He used terms like loot, extortion and fraud to express his discontent with the government's economic decision. The Congress party framed these price hikes as a pattern of ongoing exploitation under the Modi administration, arguing that the government's tax policies were designed to squeeze the common people further, especially those already struggling with high inflation. While the government did not provide specifics on the LPG price hike in the immediate statement, the overall impression created by this government was that the common man was once again being asked to bear the burden of a government that, according to its critics, seemed more focused on generating revenue than providing relief. The timing of these prices hikes is crucial in understanding the political fallout. International crude oil prices have fallen significantly in recent months, dropping to its lowest level since April 2021. This decline in oil prices could have been an opportunity for the government to lower domestic fuel prices, providing much needed relief to the public. However, by increasing excise duties instead, the government's action is seen by many as an example of the rising cost of living being exacerbated by its fiscal policies. The international oil market has faced various challenges, including fears of a global recession fueled by trade tensions between the US and China. These concerns have led to the fluctuations in oil prices, and the current slump is seen by many as an opportunity for countries like India to reduce the burden in their citizens. Yet, the government's decision to hike excise duties appears to have ignored this global trend and its intensified criticism of the government's handling of inflation.
The recent excise duty hike on petrol, diesel and LPG prices has led to strong criticism from Congress party, accusing the government of exploiting the public amid economic hardship. Despite falling international oil prices, the government chose to increase taxes, which opposition leaders see as adding to the burden of inflation. While the government assures no retail price increases, the political fallout is expected to continue. Congress's critical reflect growing dissatisfaction with the Modi government's economic policies, especially regarding fuel pricing and public welfare, a topic likely to remain central in Indian politics. That's all for today. Thanks for watching 4sides TV with me, Isma.